Cartoon Network is probably one of my, if not my favorite channel out there, out of all of them. It's made specifically for cartoons, and personally, it has a ton of awesome series on it. So, what are we going to do today? We're going to check out the top 10 best Cartoon Network shows. Because why not? As always, this is my personal opinion, and if you think that I forgot something, let me know in the comments. I actually did research on this, unlike some of my other videos. I really need to start working on my videos. Okay, back to the point. Number 10. Okay, don't click off the video. Let me explain. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Weird choice, right? Wrong. Let me prove it to you. This show actually is very good, even for a Scooby-Doo cartoon. I'm just kidding. I love Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo. I love it. Anyway. How do I say this? Oh, yeah. It has a story. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Instead of just the gang unmasking a bad guy, it is instead a whole new amazingness level. What is that thing? I don't know. But anyway, this thing has a story that's so deep that it'll get you intrigued and on the edge of your seat hanging onto the handlebar of an elevator. I don't know what I'm saying. But you can't go wrong with Scooby-Doo. Let me just say that. The humor is top-notch in this, and the animation is just amazing. It puts the amazing in amazingness level. I don't know. Just please watch this. I can't recommend this enough. It's Scooby-Doo. You can't go wrong with Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo! Don't touch me. Now, a lot of people prefer classic Cartoon Network to modern Cartoon Network. And honestly, I can't say the same thing. I honestly prefer the modern cartoons to classic cartoons. It's just, I don't know, it's probably because I was born after classic cartoons. Anyway, the point is, Johnny Bravo is one of the exceptions. One of the many exceptions, actually. But this is a hilarious show. I mean, like, I don't know how they do it. They made a middle-aged man that is chick crazy, and he acts like Elvis Presley all the time, and is always saying, Buck said mama. He was probably the one that started that. Either way, this guy is hilarious, and the show is hilarious. A+. Well, not A+, or more like A-. A-. I'm like, that's why it's number 9. If it had an A+, it would be like number 1. We'll get to number 1 in a minute, or a couple minutes. I don't know, depending on how long this video is. A lot of people might be skeptical with this one, but I say, hey, that's my list. And my personal opinion. Sorry. Anyway, Mike DiMaggio. This show is actually pretty creative in my opinion. It has a ton of Magiswords. Okay, they could have done better with the name, but still. Either way, I honestly think the show has some pretty good potential if they use it right. So far, they are actually going in a pretty good direction with this. This is a particularly new show, but I actually like it. The humor is pretty nice. The animation, not too bad. It's pretty shabby. Is shabby a good word? I don't know. I don't English. And just, yeah, the show may be fast, but it's funny. It's fast and funny. I like fast. That's why I sometimes rap on YouTube. Don't judge me. I need a life. No, not Teen Titans Go. Get that crap away from me. Teen Titans, the original. The original was definitely the best. No questions asked. But Teen Titans, the original, that was a clever and awesome show. I didn't even watch a lot of it because I couldn't find it. All I really watched was like a couple episodes and the movie Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo, which it's a really good movie. I highly recommend checking it out. But Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Raven, and Beast Boy were much more likable in this than in Teen Titans Go. But this combined with like Japanese style, like I believe Teen Titans was on Toonami. I don't know. I wasn't alive back then. No, I was alive back then, but I wasn't really watching Cartoon Network back then. I think it ended in like 2006. I can't tell. I don't know this timeline stuff. But this is definitely a funny show. Animation, awesome. And it's actually one of the only DC shows I like. Yeah. But my only problem with it is Teen Titans Go, which is one of my least favorite shows of all time. So that's the only reason why it's a bit farther back on the list. But either way, the original was still a great show. Courage the Frickin' Cowardly Dog. In my opinion, the best classic cartoon on Cartoon Network. How do they do it? This show is the perfect mixture of hilarious and creepy. Because on one hand, it'll have you laughing your butt off, I don't know. And on the other hand, it'll have you having nightmares. Have you seen some of the stuff in these? Good dog. How do they even show those images on television for kids? Like, it's enough to give maybe, possibly, a grown-up nightmares. So basically, Courage lives with Mario and Eustace in nowhere. And then they get haunted by a bunch of stuff. That's it. Perfect. But somehow, they made this an awesome plot. Plus the fact that it has dogs. And like, Courage, I don't even know if he counts as a dog. He's a pink, more or less speaking dog. But he's hilarious. The show's hilarious, and I couldn't recommend it more. Have you heard of the book Bunnicula? Did you know that was a TV show on Cartoon Network? Yeah, probably a lot of you either forgot that the show existed or didn't even know it existed at all. Because I really can't find much of a trace on this besides on Xfinity On Demand. Yes, I have Xfinity. But Bunnicula, I find, is a really underrated show because I feel it deserves way more attention than it got. It only got like 15 episodes before I believe it possibly ended. But I really found it hilarious. And being someone who read practically all the books, I actually love the show. That's why it's so high up on the list. Duh. But I feel that this deserves more attention, or at least more episodes, because they really did a good job with this. Okay, basically it's about a bunny that's a vampire who drinks vegetable blood. And then there's a cat and a dog, Chester and Harold, and they live with their owner, Mina. It's along those lines. It's actually pretty creative and very hilarious. I couldn't recommend it more, and if you can find it, I recommend you at least watch one episode of it. You won't regret it. Oh, Ben 10. Ben 10. Not Ben 10 Alien Force or Ultimate Alien or Omniverse or the reboot. Yes, I know all the Ben 10 series. Just regular, classic Ben 10. I've been watching these episodes recently, and man, I forgot how good they were. Because I obsessed over them in elementary school. And there's good reason why. This is actually a really good show. It's kind of overlooked because of all of the freaking reboots it has. But those reboots fail in comparison to the original. The original had depth, had humor, had good animation. I don't know. That it did have good animation. And a good story. And everything was good about it. I didn't really see a flaw apart from the fact that there was only 10 aliens. Like, at least do a little better. Well, they did add on, but still. But the thing is, Ben 10, it was an amazing film, and it will always live on until the Ben 10 reboot, which will probably knock it back a couple spots on the list. Oh, come on. It couldn't be more obvious. Adventure Time. Pretty much every top 10 list of top 10 best Cartoon Network shows has Adventure Time somewhere on the list. Probably in the top 5. And honestly, it deserves it. It's a freaking amazing show. Somehow, they took a bunch of random characters with a random world and created a random story with a bunch of random settings and random plot and random everything. And they made it work. They made this show create a whole new trend of amazing shows on Cartoon Network. Including, well, actually I won't list them out because that might spoil some more of the list. But still, this show is freaking awesome. It's hilarious. The design is amazing. The characters are exquisite. The plot is deep. The story is deep and long going. And man, it's sad that the series is finally coming to an end. But its lifetime was amazing. We will never forget you, Adventure Time. I wish it wasn't ending. I wish it wasn't ending. This show was even more obvious than Adventure Time. In fact, it is probably one, if not the greatest show to ever come out on Cartoon Network of all time. Second greatest in my opinion. Only a tiny bit behind number one, trust me. But Steven Universe. It's just so amazing. All of the characters are likable, with a tiny few exceptions. It's practically perfect in every way, with, again, a tiny few exceptions. And just, this show is universally praised. See what I did there? Okay, whatever. The Crystal Gems, Steven, Connie, everyone in the show. It's so likable. Humor, top notch. Animation, top notch. Story, plot, settings, and anything else to judge a TV show, top notch. I just love the show, and it is probably like number one on Cartoon Network's best shows list. It has a deep story, and it connects to a lot of people's hearts, and you just can't get around that. But this is number two. What if I told you there was a show that I found even greater than Steven Universe? Well, but first we're going to have to go through the honorable mentions, of course. Let's start them. Codename Kid Next Door. I went with Teen Titans over this one, but I could honestly change them around a bit if I wanted to. Honestly, though, Codename Kid Next Door is definitely a good show, and I recommend you check it out. We Bare Bears. This show is an amazing show and deserves way more praise than it does. I'd probably put this at number 11 if I could. And it definitely deserves an honorable mention. Chowder, 4 words. Rada, 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 rada. Mad, which for some reason I loved in elementary school. I don't know. The only reason I put it on the honorable mentions was because nostalgia. Don't judge me. Wabbit. I'm surprised the show didn't go on for more than it did. And honestly, it deserves way more attention than it did. Because it reminds me a lot of the original Looney Tunes. So it definitely deserves a longer lifespan. But anyways, here it goes. Number 1 is The Amazing World of Gumball. A lot of you might call me nuts for putting this above Steven Universe, but I can't help it. This show is gosh darn hilarious. Everything about the show I find lovable. The characters all have such deep emotions within them, more or less. I'm like, some of them are just cardboard cutouts, literally. But it's such a creative show. I don't know what it is about it. It's probably because people actually put hard work into the show. Shows like Uncle Grandpa are just random for the sake of being random. And Gumball is too. But Gumball actually does it with a great style to it. Like, the settings are all so different, and the characters are too. And the best thing about the show, by far, is the humor. Every episode makes me crack up at least 3 times at the minimum. No, I'd say 5 times at the minimum. Whether it's a smirk or a laugh, or... yeah, the maximum is probably 2,593 times. This show will have you rolling around on the floor laughing. And actually, younger kids might not be able to watch this because this is the only show I know on Cartoon Network besides Clarence that used the word nipples. Yeah, you didn't hear that coming. But yeah, this show is just amazing. The Amazing World of Gumball is my number 1 favorite episode. Series. Cartoon. There we go. Well, anyways, guys, I'm getting here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Corby Station. If I missed any, then comment down below your top 10 list. Bye!